the next release project was Falcon and Winter Soldier, which came out in March of 2021. So right after WandaVision, we got Falcon and Winter Soldier. So
okay, yeah, you're right. Because I was thinking like, when did No Way Home come? That's December. So yeah, okay,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. So we got a while before we get to that movie. But so Falcon and Winter Soldier, also Disney Plus show. So we'll go in the same order. We'll go Zach and then Brandon. So what you got, Zach? What are you thinking?
So when the show was coming out week to week, I was like, but I do think it has the best finale of all the stuff that came out in Phase 4. But I was just overall like, but then I rewatched it as a binge, and this is a way better binge than a weekly show. Just kind of like how I think when we talk about Andor, I think like they just dropped all the episodes. I was like, oh, this is a movie. It should have been a movie. It should have been a 2 hour and 20-minute movie. So for that, I'm gonna give it a B because of the racial things they talked about. As a black man, when you execute that stuff well, you're gonna get a positive, even though things are negative. I love Sam. I love Bucky. I love Zemo. I like what they did with the villains. I just know COVID messed the show up. This could have been an S-tier show if COVID didn't hold it back. There was supposed to be a pandemic storyline in it. They took it out because it was too soon. So you can kind of tell there was a lot of moments where they had to reshoot and it was just not as impactful. But because of what they did with Patriot and all those characters and that finale with the student, it was like felt like Winter. Like, I love that movie. If that last just really set it apart. So I'm gonna give it a B.
Okay. So that would be. What are you, Brandon?
I'd say I'd probably give it an A. I really liked it, and I've gone back and rewatched it several times as a whole. I binged it as a whole, just like Zach said, and it hit very, very different for me. You know, in terms of the way that it was paced, the narrative kind of kept me engaged. I loved the dynamic between Sam and Bucky. It really, really made me warm up to the character of Bucky. I don't think too many people know this about me, but a lot of people who follow me on social media do. In the context of the comics, and this even bled over into the case of the movies, I used to loathe the character of Bucky. Wow. I used to hate him with a flaming passion. I used to want him dead. In Infinity War, when he went up into dust, like I had to cover my mouth because I was gleefully laughing that much.
Jeez. Wow, man.
Yeah.
All those ladies that kicked on for your muscles are clicking off now.
It is what it is. But this is the show that really made me warm up to him as a character, and that was good for me because I've always liked Sebastian Stan. You know, I was hoping when he was cast as Bucky initially, I'm like, maybe things will be different. I've always liked Sebastian Stan, and just in the context of the movies, especially in Civil War, I freaking hated his guts. Anyway, I digress. But I think it set the stage for some interesting stuff moving forward. Like the character of John Walker, U.S. agent. I loved his story arc in this. I thought he was a great character. I think there's a lot of anti-hero potential for him moving forward. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing him in Thunderbolts. If I had my way, he would have his own miniseries.
The fangirls are coming after you, man. It's not even Bucky fangirls. This is Sebastian Stan fangirls.
If I had my way, U.S. Agent would have his own like Disney Plus series or maybe even a movie. I'm really looking forward to seeing him in Thunderbolts. I thought he was a very well executed character. I think my downsides of this show, I think they could have done a little bit more with the Flag Smashers. In terms of, what they were doing, why they were doing what they were doing, just a little more exploration. And did they really expect us to feel sorry for the character of Carly Morgenthau? Were we supposed to find her a sympathetic villain? Because I didn't,
Oh, you remember her name?
Yeah. Right? Me, I was calling her Evil Maya Rudolph, but that was just me.
That's exactly what you said every week.
Every week.
That's exactly what you say every week.
Yeah.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Oh no, I'm having nightmares. Okay.
That was what I was referring to her. I was referring to her as Evil Maya Rudolph. But like you said, the finale was great. That was like a movie in itself, you know. That was a whole third act. But yeah. I really liked it overall. But yeah, I'd give it a solid A.
Okay, we got A. What are you, Brian?
You
so
know,
right now we're kind of in between.
Me being a black man, this movie spoke to me more than any show that I watched in Phase 4. Period. Isaiah Bradley was so epic. That storyline, having the Tuskegee experiments and all those things. These are things that I grew up knowing that my family, my father made sure I knew about. And the fact that it was on a Disney Plus show about superhero blew my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, but I have to separate myself, because if it's me, this is like the most epic thing I saw in Phase 4, you know. But as a superhero, like, I'm rating it against other superhero movies and shows. I'm like an S, and then the way I rate it would be like a B. So I'm gonna give it an A. You know, just because of who I am, and there's no other way for me to look at it except for that. And the idea that Falcon had to have the idea that, you know, I'm Black Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
And now how can I be this and now be
Great
Captain
line.
America? You know, how can I be Captain America when most of America hates me?
Yeah.
Not because of anything I did, but just because I'm not white, I'm black.
Yeah, and it sets the stage for something that they could really run with in Captain America: New World Order. So I'm kind of curious to see, because I'm sure they're gonna explore and run with that more in that movie.
I just hope it's more direct.
It should be very direct,
because he didn't really say it. We just know.
Exactly. But
and,
Isaiah Bradley, see what they did to him. We need a payoff for him and his grandson, because he's going. That's going to be
He has to suit up.
Yeah, he's going to be a New World Order too. So
yeah.
But these are the reasons. Like, if you talk to someone who read comics, loves superhero movies, and is a black man, and there are points in the show I literally had tears in my eyes while watching.
Mm-hmm.
And I know no one else would understand that. You just can't, because you haven't walked the same path I've walked. So there's times that you just wouldn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, like, I have it in such high regards, and a lot of people say they hated the show because you can't understand why it did what it did. You don't understand where it's coming from. You know,
that really didn't sit well with me with people, you know, having getting all up in arms with something like that. You know, it's something very real in our society. It's something very real that happened
that you see every day. And you saw every day in 2001. You saw it every day. Yet you still didn't understand.
You know, why be that fragile when something that really happened in history is tied into something like this? I
literally heard someone say they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't just experiment on people like that. I literally looked, I was like, my mind, like, I felt like my brain was going out my ears. Like, it was so stupid. And like, it literally happened. What are you talking about? They wouldn't do that.
That's why things like this and the DC show, The Watchmen, one of the best comic books are important, because this is why comic book stuff is important, because Marvel is putting out storylines and doing stuff that other stuff is just not touching. Like the Tuskegee experiments, DC's doing that, and the Watchmen about trauma and how to handle it in different ways, just in general. Like, you don't get that in mainstream without being caricatures. And that's why, like, people piss me off when they talk bad about, like, stuff like that in the MCU. It's like, you got to give me something other than bang, bang, shoot, shoot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like Andor where there's no bang, bang, shoot, shoot, but you got to balance.
They go, powder, let's put this in, let's light the fuse, and let's wait.
And then the fuse blow out, and they got to do it again.
Yeah, like blow on it, hurry.
All right.
Then you get episode 6, and then
Empire's coming.
Yeah. But I get it, especially like something like this is like, you know, like that Sam has to deal with all this stuff. I feel like a lot of people learn about the Tulsa Massacre through Watchmen. Exactly, man. Like a lot of people, didn't really know about. Like, I didn't know the full effect of it. You know, like I always heard about it from my history class. You know, who taught us stuff like that, and but that was also in high school, and obviously a high school teacher is not going to get to the details that the show made like visualize for you. But we'll go back to what I said. It's like Sam dealing with all this stuff as being a black man and that, but also it's like you're working with a guy who was mind controlled by the Nazis. So now you only got that. Now the guy you're seeing around is this guy. So there's so many levels of hatred, on this thing. It's
a lot of
it's
parallels
stuff like that. Yeah,
you don't want to discount Bucky's storylines as well. Sam's was great, but Bucky's therapy was also important.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah. But I thought that was great. But yeah, the like you said, the Tuskegee experiments, they brought that up. I was like, wow, like that they went there with it.
Someone actually said it. Oh,
yeah, and
I wish it was a flashback. That would have been just took it over the top to me. And
we might get that. We might get that in the next one. I think in the movie.
That's my most anticipated movie.
It mine too.
So
yeah.
So where do you put it then, Tank?
I'm gonna put it A. I'm gonna put it A. I thought it was great. I loved the action in it. Like Horror Geek said, I believe. The action was great. That training montage at the end. It was like, that's how you do it. You don't spend 5 episodes of him learning how to throw the shield. You make it in 5-minute montage. Boom, we get it. Like we understand. Like he's too. Yeah. Make it intense. We get he spent the whole summer learning how to throw the shield and all that shit. So we don't need to be shown every time he threw it, so but yeah, the suit was great, everything, but the only thing that would keep it out of the S tier for me would be the issues of COVID. Like Zach said, like there was a whole storyline that got removed because of what was happening at that moment, and they're just like, like let's see if we can work around it, and it was kind of like, it felt like literally a part of the show was just pulled out and they just kind of worked around it, because that's exactly what happened. So, but besides that, like the meaning behind a lot of it was great. I love Sam. I love Don Cheadle's the few moments he was in it.
Yeah.
So.
And I also like where I like where they went with Zemo, and
Zemo was awesome.
Say what?
Yeah. Zemo was awesome.
He was great.
He was awesome.
And he gave us a great meme with him dancing. And like Sharon Carter, what's going to happen with her moving forward?
They had some of the best characters and character development in there. I mean, this really, I know people keep it underrated, but it was a banger. This was a banger of an episode of a show.
Yeah.
But people didn't like it.
Like I said, it was really like upsetting when people would say like it sucked, or they said it was mid. I was like what show did you watch? Like I don't get that when people are like it was mid. I was like, where was it mid? It had some issues, but it didn't make it a mid show. So hey, we got my buddy Omar in here. Yo,
Omar.
what's up, man?
Hey, Omar.
Yo. Right now we're ranking all phase 4. So we're only on the second one in already.
We're going to go quickly.
Yeah, we gotta skip. Well, the phase 4 starts off very strong, and then
we get
stuff happens. Stuff happens.